Welcome to Facts for Real Videos. So, aside from the odd shape, Mars has two moons, Phobos and Deimos. Except for one thing that happened not long ago, they are unremarkable. Scientists discovered a strange phenomenon on the surface of Phobos that they have yet to explain. What exactly is this phenomenon? And what does it reveal about the evolution of our solar system? Let us investigate. Asaph Hall, an American astronomer, discovered Phobos and Deimos in 1877. Did you know that all of the planets in our solar system, for example, are named after Greek and Roman deities? Mars, or Ares, is the well-known deity of war, which is why the satellites of this red planet were named after Ares' sons, Phobos and Deimos. In 1971, these lovely names had creepy meanings like fear and horror. The first images were taken by NASA's Mariner 9 telescope, which revealed that these guys were nothing like our moon. They had this strange shape, as well as a strange and unstable orbit. There are no other moons in the solar system that orbit their parent planet as closely as these two, who are its suns, despite the fact that they are very close to Mars. If you were standing on the surface of Mars, you wouldn't be able to see them because Mars' curvature hides Phobos and Deimos from view. Even if you were on the equator, Phobos would appear to be an ordinary asteroid and Deimos would appear to be a star, because these satellites are crumbs in comparison to our moon. They're the smallest and dimmest moons in the entire solar system, which is ironic given their mighty names. Everything appears to be in order with these two satellites, but there is a problem, as scientists reconstruct. The history of space is based on the traces found on various space objects, including dents, scratches, and cracks. For a long time, these things can tell us what happened billions of years ago. Scientists were certain that Phobos and Deimos were twins, just like their Greek counterparts. However, when NASA's Viking orbiter took new photos of the satellites, they discovered a significant difference between. The entire surface of Phobos was covered with massive grooves. That was a series of long, deep pits that stretched from one end of Phobos to the other. You might be thinking, what's the big deal? All space objects have this kind of stuff on them. And you'd be right. Other satellites have similar grooves and scratches. However, none of them have as many as Phobos. It's completely covered in grooves, some of which are up to 12 miles long and 660 feet wide, and that's not even all of them. Cross paths with others, this means that Phobos has been through a series of traumatic events. But what happened to it? Actually, scientists are still not certain. They do, however, have a few theories that can tell us not only about Phobos' past, but also about its future. The first suspect in theory, one asteroid impact, is quite obvious. On Phobos, there is a large, nearly 6-mile wide crater. It's called Angelini Stickney, and it was named after Asaph Hall's wife, the scientist who discovered the satellite. That is how the first theory sounds. Once upon a time, an astronomical object collided with Phobos. The impact was so powerful that it left a large crater and the collision effect. Phobos has a lot of grooves all over it. It appears logical at first, but scientists have discovered a flaw in this theory. They discovered that these grooves formed outside of the crater, but next to it, so they weren't caused by a collision. What about the grooves that intersect with the others? Is it just a cosmic coincidence? The search for truth continued, as did theory. It's all due to space debris. In this case, there is a distinction between these two theories. The grooves are not a direct result of the collision. It's something like this. This impact was caused by something colliding with Phobos. Some of the rocks that were thrown into space were lost forever in the universe. Others, however, were small enough to be dragged back to Phobos, which was passing close to the moon at a steep angle. They'd crash into it, jump away, and so on, possibly because Phobos' gravity is so weak. In other words, they couldn't stick to it. For many years, these rocks were constantly drawn toward and pushed away from the satellite. This theory describes the intersecting grooves. Because the rocks were constantly falling into those areas, it appears to be quite logical. But there is another issue. There are no boulders on the surface of Mars or its moons. However, gravity was supposed to trap all of this debris and keep it somewhere in the planet's orbit. This or simply become a part of Phobos. In other words, if this theory were true, we'd find evidence of it under layers of dust. However, this did not occur. This explanation did not satisfy astronomers, so they continued to search for the culprit. Perhaps the grooves have nothing to do with Stickney crater. Perhaps the true culprit is something even more powerful, such as Mars itself. The third theory, Mars is a twist antagonist. According to previous theories, Phobos and Deimos were once pieces of Mars. They separated from it and became satellites, similar to our moon. However, what if NASA's observations were incorrect? The Mars Global Surveyor discovered that Phobos and Deimos are composed of elements found primarily in meteorites and asteroids. What does it matter if Phobos and Deimos are asteroids? Given the size, shape, and composition of Phobos and Deimos, an asteroid belt exists between Mars and Jupiter. Once upon a time, scientists proposed this. They did, however, belong to this belt one day. They flew out of it, and gravity drew them to Mars. This is referred to as asteroid capture. It's very strange, but asteroid capture isn't uncommon. But these two have been flying alongside Mars for how many billions of years? It's strange that their orbits have remained constant. Additionally, Mars' atmosphere is extremely rarefied, and as a result, it could hardly capture any asteroids in theory. They should have separated from Mars as soon as possible. However, because this did not occur, it implies that they became stuck, and Mars immediately began to destroy them. Yes, there is an unexpected twist in this version. By studying the past, Mars reveals himself to be a villain. We discovered evidence of future crimes. Tidal forces between Mars and Phobos could be responsible for the mysterious grooves on Phobos. The Moon and Earth exchange these as well, slightly distorting each other. However, because Phobos is much closer to Mars, the impact of gravitational forces is much stronger. Mars' gravity is slowly destroying Phobos. Every 100 years, the satellite moves 0.7 inches closer to Mars. It also shrinks by up to 6.5 feet, becoming more fragile and weaker as it shrinks. The more tidal forces impact it, the more strange grooves and scratches appear on Phobos. Yes, somewhere between 30 and 50 million years. Phobos will either collide with Mars or disintegrate into a swarm of small rocks, and Mars will have rings similar to Saturn and Neptune, which is why Phobos is known as the doomed Martian moon. In any case, these are all just theories. However, the dramatic backstory of Phobos demonstrates how dynamic extraterrestrial objects can be. The more we learn about them, the more we learn about the secrets of not only Mars's origin. But if we ever colonize Mars, we will also study other objects in our solar system. Its moons can be of great assistance to us. Let us hope that the upcoming MMX mission will reveal some of the most exciting secrets that Mars moons conceal. That's all for now. So, if you've satisfied your curiosity, give the video a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Or if you want more, just click on these videos and stay on the facts for real videos.